Oh my God, guys, I have to tell you another thing that happened. You know, the restaurant Providence, like I've been trying to go to for a year and a half. So finally I book it for Myung's birthday because this is like, I know that if I ask, they're going to try to pull something for my birthday. So I was like, I'm going to book Providence for Myung's birthday. So we book it, we go. It's like, it's the one, Ray was at the Sislathon. She took a break to come to the restaurant. And it's this whole experience. It's super bougie. It's crazy. There's this part where they bring out this bread that's made in Normandy, and it's got this salt that's like, I don't know. It's really fancy. Okay. So then, they bring this bread out, and this bread is like, every time I look forward to the bread. Bread is one of my favorite parts. And so the bread, they bring it out, and it has like a drawing on it, and the guy's like, they give him the bread. The waiter's like, what do you make of that? And I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, wait. And he's like, what are those? And I was like, well, it's a mushroom. It's a mushroom and like a stocking. And then I was like, wait. And I was like, and then I forgot who it was. I think someone's like, I think it's a sock. And I was like, so it's a mushroom and a sock? And then I was like, but like, guys, I'm not at TwitchCon, okay? I'm at like this 3-star Michelin restaurant in Los Angeles where I have no connections whatsoever. Like, I don't know the chef. I don't know anybody here. No one going here would know who I am. This is not like, there's nothing here. So I'm still going sock and mushroom. But the second I say it out loud, I was like, what? So I started looking at like Ray. I started looking at Myung. I was like, did you tell the chef that I love their bread or something? Like, what is this happening? But they looked as clueless as I did. And then they're like, the waiter, he's just like, thought you might like that. And then they're like, it's from the chef. I was like, the chef knows my cat's names and like put it onto the sourdough bread? And they're like, we take an interest into our clientele. And I was like, you look us up? So I was like, oh, hell no, they look us up. So I was like, I wasn't sure whether to be like scared or just like, wow, I didn't know what they're seeing. I couldn't imagine like this nice restaurant, like this super nice restaurant. Just like, I guess because I did mention like, it's my favorite restaurant like ever. I told him this is my favorite restaurant. And he's like, you did say it was your favorite. So anyways, that was like that just like really took me out, you know? I was like, whoa, you know? Because it's just not normal. Why would they know? Why would they know? It was awesome. I get this craving for Benihana. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to a Benihana's before, but it's like, there's a chef that cooks in front of you and he puts on a show. He like this and that. Okay. And have you been to it? It's, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's a type of cooking. Hibachi grill. Is it hibachi? No, it's not hibachi. Is it hibachi? It's hibachi. Okay. So I had this craving for it. And I was like, I really randomly just like wanted it. So I asked if they were craving Benihana's or if they'd ever been there. And most of them had never been there. But I was like, I'm going to book it. So I book us at Benihana's. We go there. And before the chef gets there, we get a room. And I stand up in front of the grill. And I pretended to be a chef for a little bit. And I'll show you guys. This is me, okay? This is what they do. This is what the chefs do, by the way. Like, I'm doing like a one-to-one, like perfect reenactment. They like, well, they don't eat it themselves, but like, they like, you know. Okay, that's, okay, oh, yep, okay. And then they asked me to do the egg trick, and I was like, what egg trick? And I was like, this egg trick. Split the egg, scramble it up, and throw it in my mouth. Anyway, so that was what I was doing. Okay, and then we're eating. Oh, we're eating like the salad and stuff. Then he's like, all right, the chef is going to be here any second. Okay, the chef walks in. He's like this really funny younger guy, and he looked like 30-ish, but he was very funny, and he was cracking jokes with us. Like, he's like, basically, like, he's like a stand-up comedian, and we're like, wow, we didn't know we booked a comedy show, stuff like that. Okay, there's like a couple that's across from us. So it's like me, Peter, Abe, Elam, Nat, and then this couple that we didn't know. And so he's like, what are you guys here for? And they're talking to everybody, and they're like, oh, we're here for this. And we're like, oh, we're here for a tournament. And he's like, for what? And we're like, oh, for Pokemon. And he's like, wait, for what? And we're like, for Pokemon. And he's like, and I'm like cringing as I'm saying it. And he's like regionals? And I was like, you know about regionals? And he's like, you know, yeah, I dabble a bit. He's like, I missed the signups. I was like, you were going to sign up for it? He's like, yeah. And then he's like, I don't know. I'm competing in a draft league with my friends. And I was like, you're playing in a draft league? And he's like, yeah. And then he starts kind of just talking about, some stuff, but we're like, does this guy know? Like, does he know Pokemon? And he's like, then he starts name dropping like Wolfie. He's like, yeah, I'm watching Wolfie's draft league right now. Me and Abe are getting coached by this guy named James. And James, when we were hanging out earlier in the day at the convention center, James was talking about how his match in the draft league is like today, or like right when he gets back from Vegas. I was like, today or tomorrow. So he was saying, yeah, like I have a game against Wolfie. So when we get to this restaurant, our waiter is talking about how he's following this draft league. And I was like, so do you know who James is? And the guy goes, yeah, I know James Bake. And then we're like, what? And like our waiter's like tapped in. Okay. And then I can't remember if it was before or after this Pokemon conversation, but at one point he just looks at us and he's like, I have to ask. And we're like, what? He's like, are you guys YouTubers? And we're like, maybe, or like we stream. And he's like, you're Fuslie, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you're Peter. He's like, you guys like, like the whole offline TV thing, right? Like, yeah, I know you guys. And we're like, whoa, yeah. And he's like, no, I used to watch you actually so much. And I was like, what? He's like, I grew up watching you. And I was like, what do you mean grew up? And he's like, oh yeah, like I'm 22. And I was like, what? Because this guy, by the way, when he's like, I forgot. Okay, also mind you, we had come from a card shop. You know how we went to a lot of card shops? I had just gotten recognized by someone at the card shop who didn't look very young, or he didn't look old or anything, but he was like, Fuslie, right? You got me through middle school. And I was like, middle school? You look, I like it. Sorry, it's just like when they say middle school and I'm looking at like a guy in their 20s, like in my mind, this guy's 25 and he's looking at me like, I watched you in middle school. It just makes me feel so old. And I was like, wait, how old are you? And he goes, oh, I'm 21. And I was like, okay, so that's not that old, right? So it's just weird. I've never had anyone in my life tell me that. Like, you got me through middle school, like not really. It's just not like maybe a couple people, but those people, some of them are already young, like 15 or something. So when a 21-year-old says that, or when someone I see and I kind of see just like, oh yeah, you're in like 20s. I'm like, and so I had just come from a card shop. We go to the Benihana dinner, and not just 2 hours later, our waiter is also like, I watched you so much in middle school. And I was like, what? And this guy to me, I had to guess it. I was guessing his age is like 28, 29, because he kind of, the way he's talking, he seems like he's well-traveled, and he's a chef, and he's got, I don't know, he just feels like he has his life kind of together. So I was like, so how old are you? And he's like, oh, I'm 22. And I was like, 22? Okay, but still. And he's like, yeah, like and then he starts talking about the games he was playing and he plays. And he's like, yeah, I'm in a big Counter-Strike phase. I play Pokemon League. I used to play Osu. I was like, dude, we played the same games. This is insane. So I felt kind of bad because the people on the other side of the table are watching like the waiter, the chef and us become besties. Okay. All of us, we're just yapping. Mind you, there is a couple on this side of the table who's like, and our chef goes, by the way, I'm so sorry to you both. I just, this is like so unexpected for me. Like, I'm freaking out right now. Like I grew up watching them and I'm sorry for nerding out. And they were so nice. Like, don't even worry about it. And like the girls were like, hey, I honestly, I wouldn't mind watching you guys. What's the channel? Like this is so cool. I'm like, it's okay. You don't have to watch us or anything. But we ended up, just talking all dinner. Is on to this day. It's probably, this is the highlight of my trip. Okay. So yeah. So here's this is our chef. Okay, and that's the couple across us. And I was like, he actually plays VGC. This is before I knew he recognized us. So he was just talking a little casually about Pokemon to us. He ends up pulling out his like VGC team. He like shows us his team. And then this is him. That's Levi. And we took a photo afterwards. And yeah, it was really great. Okay. Anyway, so that was that day. The next day.